Actually, you have it wrong about what it is I believe. Let's start there.
Tell us what it is.
Okay. My mom and dad were very much in love with each other, and they wanted to get married. And my father's parents said, absolutely not. You can't marry her because she's part Cherokee and she's part Delaware. And after fighting it as long as they could, my parents went off. They eloped. It was an issue in our family the whole time I grew up about these two families. It was an issue still raised at my mother's funeral. So what I know about my parents is I know that in that little town they grew up in, that my father's parents knew enough about my mother and her family.
So you have no doubt?
To say, I have no doubt.
Well, let's assume then that that's the fact, that you're 1/32nd.
No, that doesn't tell you. Don't do that.
Well, why shouldn't I do that? But that is the fact,
no,
is it not?
No, it is not.
Why not?
It's not about the number. There are lots of people who are not enrolled in tribes.
Forget the number. You have acknowledged that in that National Law Directory, you listed yourself as a minority. If your family had an African American, like you have that grandparent or great-great-grandparent was a Cherokee, would you call yourself a black and expect African Americans to accept that?
You mean if my father's, well, let me think about this.
If that same ancestor was black and not a Cherokee.
It's not that ancestor. It's if my father's parents had said, you can't marry her because she's black, and that had been part of our family growing up, that we had two different families.
You would be comfortable saying you're black?
It would be part of identification.
Scott Brown has said that, Scott Brown, and I put words in his mouth, I don't think I am, he suggests you may have received unfair advantage at Harvard and other, well, let me just finish if I can. You've denied it. Every single person involved in the hiring process, whom I've heard, has denied it as well. Why don't you go the extra step